3.
That's how much this country has changed and our modern conveniences. But unfortunately, the spiritual side of our country, I think, is going the wrong way. I think we should go back to, there's one book, that book tells the truth, and it's not relevant. But I have to agree that you have all these nice modern conveniences and instantaneous communication. And it's pretty darn nice. He had grown up. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Also, Richard and Lydia, I just met them tonight.
Chicken fingers. Chicken fingers.
Chicken salad.
Parents of Mike and Kim for Brenda, and then Sandy's over there, my wife. My name is Ron. So we'll see us around tomorrow. And thanks to Jack, right?
Enchiladas a la crema.
Bruce over here, right? Yep. Bruce, who are the people at your table? Would you mind just quickly tell us who they are?
Friends of mine from Campus Pictures. This is Esther from South Korea, and then Randy Decker and Megan.
Yeah, and I'm Say so.
I'm Jenna Nagel. I'm Sylvia Radesky.
I'm Eric Spain. For those who don't know me, this is Nathan Huber from Watertown, Nathan Ramsey from Watertown, and Jen Ramsey, Nathan's wife.
There's people from Colorado and South Dakota.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. This is Jamie, my wife, Micah's sister. This is their Aunt Pam from Colorado, Uncle Randy from Georgia, Carissa, Adam, her new fiance, Sarah and Josh Lewis from Yankton.
I'm Alicia. I'm from here therapist with Kelly and Keith from Rapid City. Bear High and Heather Duggan. We're all from
It was quite an adventure for us a few years ago for Micah to come up here and go back to college because he'd already done a couple of years and a degree, and he's an auto tech. And by faith, he took a step of faith and he came, and now we see the faithfulness of God, and it's so wonderful. Just one faith adventure after another. They'll tell us more in their story, but if you have something else you'd like to share, please stand up and say something to work with us. I know Bruce has something to say.
So, I'm so excited about Brenda and Micah getting married. There's so much more excitement when two Christians are getting married just because of them serving Christ. I do have to tell one story. Before they announced to me or anyone else that they were dating, I had no clue. I am Captain Clueless. And anyway, I was telling Micah, I was laying the law down for Micah, and I have no earthly idea because I never tell anybody this kind of stuff. But I'm telling Micah, if you have a girl, like, you got to make sure that you guys are serving Christ, not just serving Christ, but serving Christ in the same direction. And tell them about how you should be plowing in the same direction, and you can be very effective in ministry. And anyway, Brenda couldn't keep a straight face. She left. And I knew something I had said had caused Brenda to leave the room. So I was thinking, man, I must have said something theologically wrong or something. What did I say? But it was only just confirming what God had already told them. And I'm so excited for now that they're not just serving by themselves, they're serving together, and how deep the impact that their ministry will be together. Just very excited. Love them both, and excited that they're getting married.
I have a story I'd like to tell about Micah. So, Jamie and I, we got married last August, and it was a pretty crazy time for us. And Jamie and I, we went down to Mexico for our honeymoon after we got married. And we flew back on, I think it was a Friday night. And Micah usually came into his parents on Friday night to do his laundry and stuff. And so we got back, and Ron had picked us up at the airport, and on the way back he said, "Hey, your brother Micah, he's got a story to tell you when we get back." And so I said, "Okay, cool." And Jamie will tell anybody, you know, about 9 o'clock I get pretty tired, and it takes a lot to keep me awake. But when we got back, Micah, he pulled out a booklet, and he started telling their story. And I tell you what, I stayed awake until about 1 o'clock in the morning, hanging on to every word, because it's quite a story. Congratulations, guys.
I don't really have a story, but I just want y'all to know that I called this. Now, before I ever met Brenda, it was actually at Jeremy and Jamie's wedding. I said, you know what? I said, within a year, you're going to be married to this woman. And, you know, they weren't even dating at the time. In fact, I had never even met Brenda. I called this like way back then. I was right.
For the record, just before that wedding, while I was getting ready at the rehearsal, that's when God spoke to me and said, "Okay, you can chase Brenda now." So it was right during the middle of their wedding that I was like, all right, let's go.
And he was almost late to his sister's wedding.
I wish my dad. I really like one beside your plate. Yes.
And I just want to say that I remember growing up in Micah, it was always, oh, I want a blonde, you know, I like this girl, but she's not a blonde. I don't know. I don't think so. When he came home last summer and I heard him say, well, I like this girl, but she's a redhead, and immediately, like, something leaped inside of me, like, oh, I hope he gets with the redhead. That would be awesome. So I'm really, really glad that he is make it special.
Alright, I'll say something. I've been overseas, so I didn't get the chance to meet Michael before he and Brenda got together. But I've been so blessed to get to know him a little bit since I've been back, and to see the ways that they just complement each other, and just such strong, wonderful people who I love. So, congratulations.
I will share quick. I'll try and make it quick. Sorry. I met Brenda actually my freshman year of college. I also met Micah. It was kind of crazy because Micah went to school at Lake Erie Tech in Watertown, and I met him out here. And just over the past year, it's been really cool seeing them come together through God. And she actually told me a while back, I don't remember when you told me about this, but like about how she was praying for a husband and how God had told her within the next couple of years that her husband was coming along. And I think she had told me this while I was still dating a guy my freshman year, and it just kind of was a really big impact on me how she was praying for her husband and praying for all those things, and then just seeing how God brought her and Micah together, and how she saw exactly when God was going to bring along Micah and things like that, and just saw exactly when, or exactly that Micah was her husband to be, and things like that. It's just a huge blessing to me. See how she was influenced me to pray for my own upcoming husband someday, and things like that. Just kind of a funny little side note story of their engagement. So, she was in Texas, and she was planning on coming back, and they went to the Mannheim Steamroller thing, and I was dog sitting for her, and the morning that she came back, or the morning of the day that she came back, Micah came over to her house, and I was in her guest bedroom sleeping, and I heard him out in her house. And for those of you who've been to her house, she has this chalkboard that she painted, and I could hear him out there cleaning it. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, why is Micah at Brenda's house at 9 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like Brenda, I'm a late morning sleeper. And so I can hear him out there, and I can hear him getting stuff cleaned up and all this other stuff. And I come out, and he's writing on the chalkboard all these little things, all these cute little things about Brenda, and I love you, and yada yada. And I'm like, and I come out, and I just was kind of jelly, so I tried going back to bed. And of course, my mind is running, and my curiosity is running. So I come out, and I'm like, Micah, are you proposing to her today? No. So he walks away. So I go back in the bedroom, and I get up and stuff, and I come back out, and I'm like, wait, did you just lie to me? I'm not going to tell you. And he has 2 nuts and roses. And I'm sitting here going, if you are not proposing to her tonight, I'm going to be very upset at you. So the whole night, and they get dressed up. He wears a suit to the man I'm seeing thing and everything. And I'm sitting here going, is he going to do it? And I even looked at the Mannheim Steamroller thing, because I went too, and I sat in another spot. And I even looked at her finger, and I was like, where is the ring? Where is it? And all night, I'm waiting for it, all night long. And midnight comes, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, screw it, I'm going to bed. So next morning, finally she texts me. Finally. So it's my little engagement story about them. But I'm glad you proposed that day, because I would have been very upset.
I have one other similar story like that, and I still didn't know that they were dating, and I got kicked out.
A lot of people I didn't know.
I got kicked out of their house, or out of Brenda's house, and they wanted to talk that evening about over a few things, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that they were dating, so I was kind of hanging around and, kind of announcing that I was leaving. And then Micah never came. And Micah never came. And then Brenda politely put her hand on my shoulder and said, Bruce, you should probably leave now. And so I left, and I was driving away, and I was thinking, Micah and Brenda, no.
The first time we met Micah, we were so excited. Brenda's bringing her fiancé, and we were just all excited. I guess we weren't engaged yet, but we were excited. We ended up spending the night in the ER. The whole night. Acting out, on the sofas and stuff, but Micah and Jared, the way that they got along, supporting each other and how they supported us, was just a blessing. To me, that was confirmation that they were meant to be together. So I just wanted to thank you for your care and touch and your patience. We never in the hospital so long. Thank you.
Cheeser has been so